Here we go. World War III is here, and sucks waking up in the morning realizing that this world is fucking cooked. We're on the brink of World War III. I'm sorry, we are on World War III. I'm sorry, I messed up. The economy here in America is cooked. Oil is about to reach like $7 an hour a fucking gallon. I'm sorry, dollars an hour a gallon. $7 a gallon for gas. Everything's gonna go up in price. It's going. All I gotta say is it's gonna be a bumpy fucking ride for a little while. You know what I'm saying? And you know, yeah. But we got ourselves World War III. Just got way worse. Yeah, man. World War III is here because our pedophile retards up at the top, you know, they would rather start a bunch of stupid wars so they can distract us from the Epstein files. But anyways, let's see what's going on, man.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, it seems as though that the US-Iran war has gotten so much more worse, and we are not.
By the way, just letting you guys know, we are not going to win this war. We are not winning the Iran war. It's not gonna fucking happen, bro.
Now verging on into territories
it's just
which we cannot retreat from. This is bad.
The US-Iran war is widening fast. What started as a conflict between 3 countries has now dragged a staggering 13 into the fallout.
And
add Russia and China in there. Eventually, they're gonna join this war. Eventually, they will join this war.
I just gotta say, after seeing and absorbing various medias related to this war, I now have a better understanding as to why all these countries and regions are involved, and that's because Iran is crashing out. Basically, they're threatening to destroy the Strait of Hormuz, which is basically quickly.
They didn't destroy it. They closed it down.
Sum it up, is a waterway necessary to transport vital energy supplies like oil. In fact, based off of what I heard, 20% of all the global oil transported is transported through this strait, and many Asian and European countries use this for their energy production to keep their societies alive, essentially. So if that is threatened, a lot of countries will starve in under a year. And Iran is basically saying, hey, continue with this war. You'll see just how far we're willing to go. We will starve you out.
And yeah, we killed the Ayatollah, bro. And it got replaced by the even more stricter Ayatollah. Like, you see what I mean? Bro, this nigga Trump, bro. This nigga Trump is so fucking stupid. That's like with the whole Venezuela shit. Like, these niggas thought that, like, you can get rid of Maduro and the regime's just gonna crumble. Like, that's not how that works, dude. They're panicking. Our government's panicking. We're a declining empire. And this shit's gonna collapse, man. And when that day comes, bro, we just gotta get prepared for it, man. And it's gonna be one big bang. You know what I'm saying? You know. Say goodbye to the current world global order.
Today marked a major escalation because Iran struck UK military bases in Cyprus, meaning for the first time this war has now officially touched European territory.
And they're only doing that because basically they've also said any country within their perimeter, their radius, that their ballistics missiles can reach, they will be attacking US military bases because, hey, you're in cahoots with the USA. Yeah. And we do not like that. Essentially, a lot of this is collateral damage.
Now, in response, the UK has authorized the United States to use its military bases to help destroy Iran's missile systems. And a member of the...
But you guys gotta understand, these missile silos that they have, they're deep underground. A bunker bomb is not going to kill it or destroy it. A bunker bomb it's not gonna work. The only way you'd be able to destroy Iran's missile silos is through nuking it, bro. That's the reality, bro.
European Parliament for Cyprus is already calling for action.
Cyprus is an EU territory, and one attack on a member state should be considered as an attack to the entire European Union.
This is how we gradually slide into something that becomes a global phenomenon, and we don't want this.
We want and we expect a united response from the entire European Union.
And that wasn't the only development today. Lebanon has now been dragged into this conflict as well after Hezbollah launched strikes on Israel in solidarity with Iran.
Yes, Hezbollah. We've not heard from them in a while, but they're now back in the fray. And if you guys don't know, according to Wikipedia, Hezbollah is a Shia Islamist Lebanese political party and paramilitary group. So they're pretty much what we would consider extremist. And to my knowledge, Shia is a subset faith under Islam, which makes up 10 to 15
There's two of them. It's Shia, and then there's another one.
15% of the faith. And these people, they're basically the barbarians of the Islamic world. They literally, especially during Ramadan, which is now, are sacrificing their lives to die under this supposed holy war.
And that's why like the U.S. will not win this war. The U.S. cannot win a war with a country or countries that are willing to fight to the death. Like we don't have the munitions to last in a big hot war, right? You know what I mean? Yes, we have a strong military. I'm not saying we don't have a strong military. We have the most powerful military, but that doesn't mean that we could just bulldoze our way in there. The only way the U.S. would win is through nuking. That's it.
Don't care about dying. It's actually an honor for them to die in battle, especially with the killing of their leader, the Ayatollah.
Yeah.
A lot of these people are now globally Shia, the Muslims who practice that specific type of Islam, are kind of now banding together and are trying to F shit up. Honestly, this is very dangerous. And it's funny, someone in the comment section said, we were so close, bro.
Yo, shut the fuck up, bro.
With an image of GTA. I mean, hey man. Another person said, imagine World War III starting because a guy wanted to cover up his files. Wink, wink. I'm sure you guys all understand what that's about. It's just sad that we are now being dragged into a potential global war because of one
It's a distraction.
Tiny little city in the desert who can't stop beefing with Muslims. It's amazing.
Solidarity with Iran. Meanwhile, Qatar and Saudi Arabia were pulled in a pretty major way after a number of their energy facilities were hit. Qatar, which supplies around 20% of the world's liquefied natural gas, they were forced to suspend their operations. And the same
Boy, them gas prices are gonna go up. Everything is gonna go up in price because, I mean, what do you need to transfer goods? Materials, groceries. What do you need to transfer? Gas. So everything goes up in price.
goes for Saudi. Their largest oil refinery had to temporarily halt production after a large fire broke out. And then there's NATO.
So yeah, Iran is basically attacking, again, territories that are in coalition with the USA.
Maybe bombing the Ayatollah wasn't a good idea. Just to let you guys know, Khamenei was 86 years old and he was already going to die regardless because he had prostate cancer. So he basically turned himself into a martyr. Good job, Trump. Fucking retard.
And Israel that either have
military
bases and
you fucking retards
to the USA, which
really it's the global elite, but you get what I mean.
Includes Qatar, a Kuwait, a Saudi Arabia, and I believe also Iraq. That's why we went into that war. Not for weapons of mass destruction, but for oil. Everything is oil.
We go in there, we take out the regime, we tell the people to take it over, we place in a puppet government, and we pillage them of all their resources and tell them to fuck off.
Energy and domination. And as for the rest of these countries, they basically are regional countries where we have U.S. military bases that we can use in collaboration with the governments from those countries to basically have ports closer to the Middle East in order to attack our enemies, in this case, Iran. Another person said it's literally Iran versus everyone, bro. I mean, shout out to them. They're really tough.
And apparently China and Russia are backing them too, so I mean, I don't know about Russia, but I know China is for sure.
Like, they're a very prideful and tough people.
And then there's NATO. We got their comments for the first time after their Secretary General called Iran a threat to Europe, Israel, and the wider region, saying Europe is really
fuck Israel
stepping up after this weekend's operations.
And yeah, unfortunately, you know, European countries.
By the way, I'm not suicidal.
Certain Asian countries.
I have no reason to die from a car accident.
They're probably gonna have to enter the fray because literally, as the professor explained yesterday, but you know, we were watching this now today. The GCC.
The professor, bro, I watched this guy. This guy's like, he predicted Trump was gonna win. He predicted that he was gonna get in war with Iran. He actually said that us going to war with Iran was gonna be caused World War III, which he's right. I mean, that's just what it is, and that we are going to lose this war, and we're not, because we lose this war, the American empire will collapse. And that'll be the end of the American empire, bro. It'll just be, you know, which I'm fine with. I don't care to be an empire, bro. I don't care America to be an empire, bro. Everybody can eat, bro. We can all share resources, my nigga. We don't got to bomb and steal them of fucking all their shit, bro. We can all eat together, bro.
Which are the Gulf states. They they control a considerable amount of oil relative to their population or their sizes. They control about 20% of the oil transport in the world, which is consumed by not only us, but China and places like Japan and Europe. If 20% of the oil or global transport of oil is affected and essentially locked out from being transported by the Gulf states, Qatar, Saudi, UAE, from being transported.
The only other way the U.S. would ever win this war against Iran is to put boots on the ground, which they are doing. I'm pretty sure they are. Probably hundreds of American soldiers have already died. Let's be real. You know, these motherfuckers, they won't tell you. They'll be like, oh, only a few people died. Like, but you heard what Trump said. Trump said it himself. He said, I'm willing to sacrifice as many soldiers as we need to. I'm willing to do it, bro. Like, that's crazy, bro.
To the rest of us, especially if it's being locked or gatekept or stunted for an extended period of time, people will start to starve. Most of our energy comes from oil. 20% is crazy. I heard projections that if Japan doesn't get a lot of their oil, which does come from the Gulf states as well, they basically fall within 8 to 9 months, their society collapses. A lot of European countries will go cold. They will collapse. And not only on top of oil being exported, the Strait of Hormuz is needed to get food into the Gulf states as well, because they don't really grow their own food like that, and they don't really have a lot of fresh water reserves. A lot of their oil is transported to us in exchange for food, water, money. So it's a mutual beneficial relationship. And guess who knows that? Iran. They understand how important this choke point is, and they are willing to crash out even though they need this choke point themselves. At this point, it's like a war.
Yeah, but this is their only way that they can like fight back against the U.S. is limiting them of their resources and causing civil unrest here in America.
Or of attrition. Let's see who dies,
which is already happening
first. And because they're so extreme and they are the Shia Muslims, they're very prideful, and they will crash out to the end. I don't think people understand. And of course, that's an oversimplification of what is currently going on. It gets way more deep. But we are now being dragged into, again, a global conflict because certain people in the desert of a specific faith in our country who supports those people can't stop beefing with Muslims. And they want to, it's just, they also feel threatened by Iran having so many ballistic missiles and their nuclear program, them wanting to...
Bro, they have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of fucking missiles too, you guys. This is, they have they've been preparing for this shit for decades, y'all.
Create nukes for themselves.
They've been preparing for this for a long time.
It's a whole mess. And this professor right here from Predictive History, Professor Jiang, I believe, formerly from China, now he's in Canada. He genuinely believes we may be entering World War III.
There's NATO. We got their comments for the first time after their Secretary General called Iran a threat to Europe, Israel, and the wider region, saying Europe is really stepping up after this weekend's operations. But when asked if NATO forces would get involved in this situation, he made it pretty clear. He said this is being led by the United States and Israel. So for now, NATO is staying out of it. But of course,
NATO's just like fuck it, do whatever you want, because America is a dying empire, bro. Like, that's just in our government, they're just crashing the fuck out.
As the situation develops, I'll keep you guys updated.
So NATO is staying out of it for now, quote unquote, but I believe they're already involved, because once energy production reaches a point to where it's not sustainable and the Strait of Hormuz is in a point to where Iran is not willing to back up and allow oil to be exported from the Gulfs and imported into these countries, a lot of people will start to suffer. Gas prices will start to significantly...
Everything will go up in price, not just gas.
Increase.
But,
and that'll affect food prices. And once food prices increase exponentially and oil prices, gas prices increase exponentially, and people start hurting in the pockets and people start starving, then that's when...
And we already have tariffs. We already have all this bullshit as well. So, here we go.
Governments will have to get involved, and a lot of bad shit will start to pop off.
I have no choice.
I don't want that. Someone here said in the comment section, so Trump has successfully started World War III. As much as I'd like to kind of say, hey, that's an exaggeration, potentially in a way, yes. But indirectly by supporting Israel in their efforts to try.
They're blackmailed by Israel because they're a bunch of retards. That's why.
And destroy Iran. And I want people to understand, it's not because Israel is kind-hearted and they're They care about the people of Iran and they want to destroy an oppressive regime. No, they couldn't.
No, they're warmongers, bro. They want to take over the entire territory. They want to take over. They want to create the greater Israel. That's what this is, bro. They're committing genocide. They're bombing. The shit that's happening in Palestine, Gaza, is the same shit that's happening in Iran now. But we're the ones bombing them. Before we were just funding it. Now we're bombing them. We're like us Americans. We are killing civilians in Iran, and we are creating an entire generation of people who will hate us and will want us dead because of these fucking retards.
Like, they don't care. They didn't just all of a sudden gain a new set of morals. It's because they want regime change so that they can insert their own politicians to have control of Iran, insert their own little
They want to turn it into a failed state, but it's not gonna work.
puppets in collaboration with the US so that they can have more power, and so that Iran is no longer a threat and that they can have more regional control over the Gulf states. Expansion, more oil, more power. And supposedly this whole thing is supposed to die down in like 4 to 5 weeks, so I heard. Hopefully that happens, but it does not look like Iran is backing down. It looks like they're willing to fight to the bitter end, so we'll see what happens. But if you guys want a better understanding, somewhat, sort of, about why we are where we are now, go check out Predictive History on YouTube.
Our government is blackmailed by Israel. Donald Trump is literally compromised. Like they have like hundreds of videos of Donald Trump fucking kids, you know what I mean? R-wording kids, right? Like, and Trump is willing to start World War III, you know what I'm saying? Also, America is a dying empire, and so we're basically going emergency mode, going to as many countries as we can, stealing them of all of their resources to expand. That's the only way the American empire will survive, is through expansion. That's just the reality. And, so it's a win-win for Trump and the top 1%, but it's also, but here's the thing though, it's also a win for Israel because they can create their greater Israel plan and all that. The reality is like, this shit is cooked, bro, because we're not going to win this war, especially when China and Russia gets involved, which they will, because they'll have no choice. We will not win. Yes, America is a powerful military, but we don't have the munitions to go into a long-lasting war. We just don't. You know what I mean? We gave up all of our manufacturing. Oh, shit. We gave up all of our manufacturing to China. We can't manufacture our own shit anymore. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, that's just the reality. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, man. But that's pretty much it, though. But yeah, Predictive History, Professor Jiang, I think he explains it perfectly. You know what I'm saying? But I hope you guys have a good breakfast, a good dinner, good night, man. I love y'all, man. Peace.